Welcome back to Big Balls Fantasy Football and Week 10 of my Real Men segment. I have some great picks, hopefully, for you this week. I have some very ballsy picks for you this week as well, so let's get into it. My first pick is wide receiver Martavis Bryant, and he is the Steelers wide receiver. Now, he is a 3.5 on the ball scale, and he was out for the first 6 weeks of the season, so he wasn't on any fantasy radars. Nobody was talking about him in fantasy, but he had a little shoulder injury. He had an illness, so he didn't play. But if you've been watching these Steelers games, he is definitely on the fantasy radar right now. He has 5 touchdowns in 3 weeks. That's correct, guys. 5 touchdowns in 3 weeks. Those are great numbers, obviously. Now, the Steelers play the Jets this week, and the Jets defense, their secondary, has really been struggling. Obviously, D. Milliner is out. They've been struggling for the entire season. They've given up 24 passing touchdowns, and the Steelers offense has been on a crazy, crazy roll. Big Ben has 12 passing touchdowns in 2 weeks. So I think the Steelers offense is going to continue to do very well, especially against this Jets secondary. I don't know if Big Ben is going to throw 6 touchdowns, but I think he'll throw at least 2, maybe 3 for this game. And I think Bryant could get one of those touchdowns because they do target him in the red zone. Now, I put him at a 3.5 on the ball scale because, first of all, he's a rookie. Rookies do tend to be inconsistent a little bit, so he's a little bit of a risky start because he's a rookie. He's started off really hot in these first 3 weeks, but he's got a great matchup this week, and I think he's a guy that you could get in your flex. And again, they look for him in the red zone. I think he could get you a touchdown. He's been balling out a lot more than Marcus Wheaton even, so go ahead, get him in your lineup if you have the balls to do it. Now I have my next pick is a one-ball pick, and that is running back Matt Forte. Had to take a Bear because, you know, even though my Bears suck this season, I still love the Bears, and he's been the one bright spot on the Bears this season. The Bears obviously need more balance, and they went into the bye week talking about that they want to get Matt Forte the ball more and that they need to create more balance on offense, and the only way they're going to do that is to hand off the ball and let Forte run a lot more. They're playing Green Bay, obviously, in a primetime game this week. And in Week 4 against Green Bay, Forte had 122 rushing yards. So he went for over 100 rushing yards, and he had 49 receiving yards. Unfortunately, no touchdown in that game, but I do think he could get you a touchdown in this away game. It's in Green Bay. It's going to be a rough one for my Bears. Mark Ingram gashed Green Bay for 172 yards and a touchdown in Week 8. If Mark Ingram can do that, that shows you that the Packers defense is still not stopping the run at all. And again, this is a crucial game for the Bears. They have to get Forte going. If the secondary is going to try to take Marshall and Alshon away, you've got to get Forte the ball, hand it off to him, throw it to him. He needs to get in the end zone, and the Bears need to get points on the board this week. So he's a one ball. He's been doing great in fantasy. He needs to be in your lineup for sure this week. And my third pick for this week is tight end Larry Donnell. He is a 4 balls pick. He is the Giants tight end. And I put him at a 4 balls pick because he struggles a little bit with consistency. But I do like his matchup, even though it's Seattle this week. The Giants obviously have problems at wide receiver. If you watch that Monday night game, they are not doing very well with their wide receivers and Eli's chemistry with those wide receivers. But Eli does have some chemistry with Donnell, and he does look for him, especially when he's in trouble. He looks for him in the red zone for sure. He has 5 touchdowns on the season so far. And Seattle gives up the 6th most fantasy points to tight ends this season. So Seattle is not shutting down tight ends very well this season. They're not even shutting down the pass quite as well this season as they did last season. This game is in Seattle, so that is why it's a 4 balls pick. It's a little risky to start him in Seattle with the Giants offense struggling like they are. But hey, they're going to have to get something going. He is a guy Eli looks for, especially in the red zone. And if Seattle puts up some points on the board and the Giants are struggling, the Giants are going to have to throw the ball to try to catch up in this game. So he's a little bit of a risky start. He's ballsy, but I have him in a couple leagues. I'm putting him in because, again, Seattle does not match up well with tight ends. So there are your Week 10 real men, and Greg has his beast mode picks for you next.